When it comes to maintaining a healthy diet in your later years, vegetables form the foundation of senior nutrition. They're brimming with fiber, antioxidants, and vital vitamins that promote heart health, cognitive sharpness, and digestive efficiency. But here's something most people overlook. How you store your vegetables can be just as critical as which ones you eat. Surprisingly, storing certain vegetables in the refrigerator can reduce their nutritional content, impair digestion, or even become harmful over time. Conversely, others require cold storage to preserve their nutrients, prevent spoilage, and safeguard your health. In today's video from Holistic Health Compass, we're highlighting 4 vegetables seniors should never refrigerate, and 4 that absolutely must be kept cold to stay safe and nutritious. These storage tips are particularly important for older adults, whose immune systems and digestive capacity may not be as robust as they once were. Simple errors, like chilling the wrong root vegetable or leaving delicate greens on the counter, can result in nutrient depletion, foodborne illness, or unexpected digestive upset. As we age, the small decisions, like how we store our groceries, can make a big difference in our everyday wellness. Since vegetables are often consumed raw, roasted, or lightly steamed, proper storage becomes essential to preserving both taste and health benefits. So whether you're sorting your weekly produce haul or refining your kitchen routine, this guide will help you make smarter choices that support strength, energy, and longevity. Let's begin with a common mistake: refrigerating a vegetable that truly shouldn't be kept cold. The worst vegetable to refrigerate. Number 1. Potatoes. A starchy staple that becomes toxic when chilled. Potatoes have long been a comfort food for older adults, praised for their versatility and soft texture. However, while they're wholesome when properly stored and prepared, placing them in the fridge can trigger a chemical reaction that poses a potential risk to seniors. This is why potatoes top our list of vegetables that older adults should never refrigerate. The problem lies in their natural starches. When stored at cold temperatures, like inside a refrigerator, these starches begin converting into simple sugars. Though this might sound harmless, those sugars can combine with amino acids during cooking, especially frying or roasting, to create acrylamide, a chemical compound linked to nerve damage, inflammation, and even increased cancer risk with long-term exposure. For seniors managing conditions such as arthritis, diabetes, or kidney disease, exposure to acrylamide from improperly stored potatoes may worsen inflammation and oxidative stress, directly counteracting efforts to improve health through diet. On top of the chemical risks, refrigeration alters potato texture. It makes the flesh gritty and overly sweet, destroying the light, fluffy consistency preferred in mashed or baked dishes. Consider the story of Geraldine "Jerry" Rusk, a 78-year-old retired elementary school principal from Peoria, Illinois. Jerry had always stored her potatoes in the fridge, assuming they would last longer. But she began noticing an odd sweetness in her roasted meals, and soon after, experienced digestive discomfort. A conversation with her granddaughter, a nutrition student, revealed the culprit. Jerry switched to storing her potatoes in a cool, dark pantry, and within a week her symptoms disappeared. So what's the proper way for seniors to store potatoes? Keep them in a dark, well-ventilated area like a root cellar, pantry, or a paper bag tucked in a cabinet. Avoid plastic bags, which trap moisture and encourage sprouting or mold. The ideal temperature range is between 45° F and 55° F, cooler than room temperature but warmer than a refrigerator. To summarize, while potatoes remain a healthy staple when prepared correctly, refrigerating them can turn them into a dietary hazard, especially for seniors. For better flavor, digestion, and peace of mind, skip the fridge and store your spuds in a dry, shaded space. Next, we'll spotlight another root vegetable that many people chill out of habit, yet doing so actually drains it of flavor and nutritional value. The worst vegetable to refrigerate. Number 2, onions. A flavorful favorite that spoils faster and causes discomfort when chilled. Onions are a kitchen essential, known for their savory depth and numerous health benefits. Rich in antioxidants like quercetin, onions support heart health and elevate flavor in everything from soups to stir-fries. But many people make a common mistake, storing whole onions in the refrigerator. For seniors, this habit may lead to faster spoilage, digestive issues, and a significant reduction in both flavor and nutritional quality. That's why onions earn their spot on the list of vegetables that should never be refrigerated. Here's what happens. The cold, humid environment inside a refrigerator causes onions to become damp and soft, which accelerates decay and encourages mold growth, especially on the outer layers. And once mold spores develop, they can easily spread beneath the surface, potentially posing a risk to seniors with weakened immune systems. In addition, refrigeration speeds up sugar conversion in onions, altering both taste and texture. This can lead to premature spoilage and digestive irritation, particularly bloating or gas, especially for older adults with more sensitive systems. Take the case of Vince Ellsworth, an 82-year-old retired train conductor from Billings, Montana. Vince had been refrigerating his onions for years, until he noticed they were slimy, sour-smelling, and no longer cooked the same. After attending a local food safety seminar, he changed course and began keeping his onions in a basket in a cool, dry cabinet. Not only did they last longer, but Vince's post-meal indigestion vanished. So, how should you store onions properly? Keep whole, unpeeled onions in a dark, dry, and well-ventilated place, like a mesh basket or open bin in your pantry. Avoid plastic bags, which trap moisture. Once an onion is cut, it can be refrigerated, but only when wrapped tightly and used within a few days. In short, refrigerating whole onions is unnecessary and may do more harm than good, especially for seniors. To preserve flavor, extend shelf life, and protect digestive health, keep your onions in a cool, dry spot outside the fridge. Coming up next, a beloved kitchen staple that becomes bland and nutritionally compromised when kept too cold, and may even disrupt digestive function over time. The worst vegetable to refrigerate. Number 3, tomatoes. A nutrient-packed fruit that loses its power and flavor in the fridge. Few produce items are as widely enjoyed, or as nutritionally rich, as tomatoes. From fresh salads to hearty pasta sauces, tomatoes are a staple in many senior diets, thanks to their abundance of lycopene, vitamin C, and potassium, all nutrients that support cardiovascular health, skin elasticity, and immune function. However, storing them improperly can strip away much of these advantages. That's why tomatoes are another vegetable, or technically fruit, that seniors should never refrigerate. When you chill fresh, whole tomatoes, the cold disrupts their natural ripening process and damages their delicate cell structure. This results in a grainy texture and dull, watered-down flavor, making tomatoes not only less enjoyable, but also less effective nutritionally. For seniors who rely on soft, flavorful foods that are easy to chew and digest, these texture changes can make tomatoes less appealing and potentially more difficult to include regularly in meals. Additionally, refrigeration may degrade lycopene, the antioxidant that gives tomatoes their red hue and heart protective properties. Research indicates that cold temperatures can reduce the bioavailability of lycopene and other beneficial compounds, diminishing the anti-inflammatory and cholesterol-lowering effects tomatoes are known for. Let's take the experience of Agatha "Aggie" Bellamy, an 85-year-old retired botanist from Athens, Georgia. Aggie loved making fresh tomato sandwiches but noticed they had become bland and mealy. When her daughter came to visit and asked where she stored her tomatoes, Aggie pointed to the fridge. She was surprised to learn that cold storage was the cause. After switching to a fruit bowl on the counter, she immediately noticed the return of full, vibrant flavor. She also experienced better digestion, with less bloating and discomfort. So how should tomatoes be stored? Keep whole, uncut tomatoes at room temperature and out of direct sunlight. A cool kitchen counter or shaded pantry is ideal. If a tomato becomes overly ripe and you're not ready to use it, then, and only then, place it in the refrigerator to prevent spoilage. Once sliced, tomatoes should be refrigerated and consumed within a day or two for optimal texture and safety. In short, refrigerating fresh tomatoes dulls their flavor, alters their texture, and reduces nutritional value, particularly for seniors who depend on soft, nutrient-dense foods. For the best taste and health benefits, allow tomatoes to ripen naturally on the counter where they belong. Now, let's move to a pungent kitchen staple many older adults refrigerate for convenience, unaware that doing so can compromise its flavor, reduce its potency, and shorten its shelf life. The worst vegetable to refrigerate. Number 4. Garlic. A natural remedy that weakens and spoils faster in the cold. Garlic has been valued for centuries, not just for its flavor, but also for its medicinal properties. It supports immunity, lowers blood pressure, and promotes heart health, making it particularly beneficial for seniors. Its active compound allicin provides powerful antimicrobial and anti-inflammatory effects, making garlic a small but mighty addition to everyday meals. However, refrigerating garlic is one of the quickest ways to diminish its flavor, shorten its usability, and reduce its health-boosting properties. That's why garlic belongs firmly on the list of vegetables seniors should never store in the fridge. Cold, humid environments introduce moisture to garlic bulbs, leading to condensation that accelerates mold growth and causes early sprouting. This spoils the flavor, turning it bitter or rubbery, and reduces the concentration of beneficial compounds like allicin. Even worse, sprouted or moldy garlic may irritate digestion, especially for older adults with sensitive stomachs or compromised immunity. Refrigeration also causes the papery outer skin to peel prematurely, exposing the cloves to air and speeding up spoilage. Instead of lasting several weeks or months, refrigerated garlic can go bad in just days, wasting money and undercutting its medicinal value. Consider the case of Wendell Duke Hathaway, an 84-year-old retired jazz pianist from Asheville, North Carolina. Duke had gotten used to keeping his garlic in the fridge, thinking it stayed fresher that way. But he began to notice a harsh aftertaste in his meals and more frequent bloating. During a consultation at his local wellness center, he learned that garlic should be kept dry and cool, but not cold. After moving his garlic to a mesh basket in his pantry, both the flavor and his digestion improved noticeably. So, how should seniors store garlic for maximum benefit? Keep whole garlic bulbs in a dry, well-ventilated space, such as a hanging basket, mesh bag, or ceramic garlic keeper. Avoid sealed containers or plastic bags that trap moisture. Once peeled or chopped, garlic should be used immediately or refrigerated briefly in a sealed glass container for no more than 1 or 2 days to prevent odor transfer. In summary, refrigerating garlic compromises its flavor, shortens its shelf life, and weakens its health-supportive properties, all of which are too valuable to sacrifice, particularly for older adults. For the best results, store garlic the traditional way. Dry, dark, and well away from the cold. Next, we'll shift to the 4 vegetables that seniors absolutely must keep refrigerated, starting with one that spoils rapidly at room temperature and can even pose a health hazard if left out for too long. The best vegetable to keep cold. Number 1. Leafy greens, a delicate, nutrient-dense superfood that thrives in the fridge. For older adults looking to increase fiber, improve digestion, and safeguard both heart and brain health, few foods are more beneficial than leafy greens. Whether it's spinach, kale, arugula, romaine, or Swiss chard, these tender greens are loaded with vitamins A, C, and K, along with folate, magnesium, and powerful antioxidants that protect aging cells. But there's one critical rule. Leafy greens must be kept cold. That's why they top the list of vegetables that require refrigeration. At room temperature, leafy greens wilt quickly. More concerning, their high water content makes them highly perishable. When not stored properly, they can become breeding grounds for harmful bacteria such as E. coli and Listeria, both of which pose serious risks for seniors with weaker immune systems. Refrigeration not only slows spoilage but also helps preserve the fragile vitamins these greens are known for. Vitamin C, in particular, breaks down rapidly when exposed to heat and light. Keeping greens cold locks in their nutrition and prevents the slimy, soggy texture that can make salads both unappetizing and unsafe. Take Henrietta Hetty Bloom, an 86-year-old retired poetry professor from Eugene, Oregon. Hetty loved fresh greens with her lunch but often left her farmer's market haul on the kitchen counter for days. One afternoon, after eating a spinach salad that had been left out overnight, she experienced severe stomach cramps and nausea that led to an urgent care visit. Since then, Hetty stores her greens in the crisper drawer of her refrigerator and swears they not only last longer, but taste better too. So, what's the best way for seniors to store leafy greens? Keep them in their original breathable bag or a loosely sealed container inside the vegetable drawer. To maintain freshness, line the container with a paper towel to absorb moisture and avoid washing the greens until just before use. Excess water speeds up spoilage. If you buy in bulk, divide your greens into smaller portions to reduce exposure to air and handling. In summary, leafy greens are nutritional gold for older adults, but only when kept cold. Proper refrigeration preserves their nutrients, texture, and safety, helping seniors enjoy their full benefits without unnecessary digestive risk. Up next, a crunchy root vegetable that loses its crispness and potentially its health benefits when left on the counter but thrives in the fridge. The best vegetable to keep cold? Number 2, carrots. A crisp, eye-supporting root that stays fresh only in the cold. Carrots are a beloved staple among older adults, and with good reason. They're naturally sweet, satisfying, easy to chew when cooked, and packed with beta-carotene, a precursor to vitamin A that supports eye health, immunity, and skin renewal. But to retain these benefits and avoid spoilage, carrots must be stored cold. That's why they earn a place on the list of vegetables that seniors should always refrigerate. Unlike some root vegetables that prefer cool pantry storage, carrots are prone to moisture loss and bacterial growth when kept at room temperature. Left out, they quickly become limp, rubbery, and prone to mold, especially in warm or humid environments. For older adults who rely on carrots as a fiber-rich, eye-nourishing snack or side dish, improper storage can mean missing out on one of nature's most dependable superfoods. Refrigeration helps preserve beta-carotene, the pigment responsible for carrots' vibrant color and potent health benefits. This is especially important for seniors with age-related eye concerns like macular degeneration or cataracts, as vitamin A plays a crucial role in maintaining healthy retinas and vision in low light. Let's take a look at Noreen Nora Winscott, an 80-year-old retired antique dealer from Lincoln, Nebraska. Nora enjoyed prepping carrot and celery sticks every Sunday to snack on throughout the week, but she used to leave them in a bowl on her kitchen counter for easy access. Over time, she noticed they would turn limp or develop white spots within days. Her daughter suggested keeping them in the fridge in a container filled with cold water. Since adopting this method, Nora's carrots now stay crisp for over a week, and she feels more confident enjoying her midday snacks, knowing they're still safe and packed with nutrition. So, what's the best way to store carrots for long-lasting freshness? Keep whole, unpeeled carrots in the crisper drawer of your refrigerator. If they still have leafy tops, trim those off first as they draw moisture from the root and speed up spoilage. For pre-cut or peeled carrots, place them in a sealed container with cold water and change the water every couple of days to maintain their crunch and flavor. In summary, carrots are a fiber-rich, vision-supporting powerhouse that deserves a spot in every senior's refrigerator. Keeping them chilled helps preserve their texture, sweetness, and, most importantly, their nutritional value, allowing each bite to work in your favor. Up next, let's focus on a high-moisture vegetable that can quickly turn into a bacteria magnet if stored improperly. The best vegetable to keep cold, number 3, cucumbers. A hydrating, gut-friendly green that needs the chill to stay fresh. Cucumbers may appear simple, but they offer hydration, digestive ease, and a cooling effect that few other vegetables provide, making them ideal for older adults. Composed of over 95% water, cucumbers help maintain hydration, ease bloating, and support healthy bowel movements, especially during warmer months or in dry climates. Because of their delicate structure and high moisture content, cucumbers must be refrigerated. That's why they rank high among vegetables seniors should always keep cold. If left at room temperature for more than a day or two, cucumbers begin to soften, turn yellow, and spoil quickly. Warmth accelerates water loss and promotes the growth of bacteria and mold, particularly around the stem area. This not only compromises their crisp texture, but also heightens the risk of foodborne illness, which is especially dangerous for seniors with lower immunity or sensitive digestion. Additionally, cucumbers contain electrolytes and B vitamins that degrade when exposed to heat. Refrigeration protects these nutrients, including silica, a compound that supports joint flexibility and skin elasticity, both essential for graceful aging. Take Marshall Marty Poehler, an 81-year-old retired school bus driver from Flagstaff, Arizona. Marty used to leave his cucumbers out in a fruit bowl on the kitchen counter. After a few incidents of soggy slices and one mild bout of food poisoning, his daughter urged him to refrigerate them immediately after shopping. Now, Marty stores his cucumbers in the vegetable drawer and says they taste fresher, crunchier, and especially refreshing in his afternoon cucumber mint water. To preserve cucumbers properly, store them whole and unwrapped in your refrigerator's crisper drawer. If sliced, place them in an airtight glass container lined with a paper towel to absorb excess moisture. Use within 5 to 7 days for best flavor and quality. Avoid wrapping whole cucumbers in plastic, as this traps moisture and accelerates spoilage. In short, cucumbers are a cooling, hydrating, and nutrient-rich addition to any senior's diet, but only when stored in the cold. Proper refrigeration ensures they stay crisp, safe, and beneficial for your digestion, skin, and hydration. Next, let's spotlight a vibrant, nutrient-packed vegetable that quickly deteriorates when left out but becomes a long-lasting health booster when stored properly. The best vegetable to keep cold, number 4. Bell peppers, a colorful immune-boosting vegetable that needs the fridge to stay potent. Bright, crunchy, and bursting with flavor, bell peppers are more than just a salad garnish. They're one of the most nutrient-dense vegetables available and are especially beneficial for older adults. Rich in vitamin C, vitamin A, potassium, and antioxidants, bell peppers support immune function, collagen production, and bone strength. But to retain these essential nutrients, bell peppers must be kept cold. That's why they belong on the list of vegetables that seniors should always refrigerate. When left at room temperature, bell peppers quickly lose moisture, becoming soft, wrinkled, and less appetizing. Exposure to heat and air accelerates the breakdown of vitamin C, which is already highly sensitive. For seniors looking to heal, strengthen immunity, or maintain skin health, this nutrient loss can quietly reduce the benefits of an otherwise healthy meal. Keeping bell peppers cold preserves their crunch, their flavor, and their full nutrient profile. Whether red, green, yellow, or orange, all varieties offer valuable anti-inflammatory compounds like flavonoids and carotenoids, which help fight oxidative stress, cellular damage, and chronic illness. Consider Florence Flo Parnell, a 77-year-old retired seamstress from Mobile, Alabama. Flo enjoyed munching on raw bell pepper strips during lunch, but often left them on the counter post-shopping. Over time, she noticed her peppers turned rubbery, and she began feeling increased inflammation in her hands. Her dietitian explained that exposure to heat had likely reduced the vitamin C content and encouraged her to store peppers in the fridge. Now, Flo keeps them in a breathable bag in the crisper drawer and says her joints feel less inflamed and her salads taste brighter than ever. To store bell peppers properly, keep them whole and unwashed in your refrigerator's vegetable drawer. Once cut, seal the pieces in an airtight container or zip-top bag and consume within 3 to 5 days. If you notice soft spots or moisture accumulation, dry them with a paper towel to prevent mold. In summary, bell peppers are a senior-friendly superfood, but only when kept chilled. Refrigeration helps preserve their texture, immune-supporting vitamins, and vibrant color, making each bite as nourishing as it is delicious. Now that we've covered which vegetables should and shouldn't be refrigerated, Let's bring it all together with a final word on how small kitchen habits can support a longer, healthier life. Conclusion: storing vegetables right for a healthier, safer life. As we grow older, even small decisions, like how we store our vegetables, can have a major impact on our well-being. One of the most overlooked but essential habits in senior nutrition is knowing which vegetables thrive in the fridge and which don't belong there at all. In this video, we explored 4 vegetables that should never be refrigerated: potatoes, onions, tomatoes, and garlic. Cold storage can degrade their texture, reduce nutrient content, or even introduce health risks. These staples do best in a dry, cool, and dark environment, and when stored correctly, they support better digestion, enhanced flavor, and greater shelf life. On the other hand, we also highlighted 4 vegetables that seniors must keep cold: leafy greens, carrots, cucumbers, and bell peppers. These water-rich, nutrient-dense vegetables require refrigeration to preserve their texture, lock in vitamins, and guard against bacterial growth, especially crucial for seniors with lower immunity or slower digestion. At a Holistic Health Compass, we believe healthy aging begins in the home, and it often starts in the kitchen. By storing your vegetables correctly, you protect their taste, their nutritional integrity, and your own health. It also reduces food waste and makes every meal more satisfying. So, take a fresh look at your fridge and pantry. Are your tomatoes sitting in the cold when they should be ripening on the counter? Are your leafy greens losing vital vitamin C on the shelf? If today's video helped you better understand how to store your vegetables for health and longevity, let us know in the comments. What tip surprised you most? Which will you apply right away? And don't forget, like, share, and subscribe to Holistic Health Compass for more expert guidance on eating well, aging strong, and living fully, one smart habit at a time.